Hey everybody, it's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Listen, this is one of my most requested return of guest on specific topic of Texas and folks move into Texas. So I said, let me come on and bring on my special guest, Big Dog Dallas, Mr. Tim Jackson, the real dope, okay? Elected city council, something. I don't know. He's not a city council member, but he's up there somewhere on a council, on a panel. But I'll let him introduce himself.
Well, what's going on, Erica? It's always a pleasure to be back. I meet a lot of people through your platform, and a lot of people reach out to me. They say, I was watching Erica and the Classy Climb blog, and I saw your video. You have any questions that can you answer these questions? And got an opportunity to meet some good people. People have actually bought real estate here in Dallas off of the strength of our interviews. So I want to thank you for that. I appreciate you for, even considering me and seeing me as an expert in this field. And anytime I can lend myself to you, just let me know.
Man, come on now. You the expert in Dallas. You always trying to run away, but that's your city, okay?
Hey, listen, I'm a low man on the totem pole, man. I'm just sitting back here trying to learn the game. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I be seeing you out in California all over the place. I'm like, man, get back to Dallas.
No, what's going on though? How you been? I see you doing some great things.
Oh man, enjoying every bit of 2020 was such a sit down and be quiet moment. Right? And I was okay with it because you just learn so much when the wind changes, who doing what, right? How people treat you when things are good and when things are bad. Like you get to kind of see, as they say the old saying, who's skinny dipping while everybody, when the tide comes out. And I just got to learn so much. And so I was super grateful for that. But everybody, make sure you're dropping your city and state in the chat. You know how we like to do.
Oh, we're live right now?
Oh, we live.
Oh, that's so. Where we live at?
YouTube.
Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah. I like to do the live show. Hit us with the super chats,
What's up?
And so you've been seeing the news. Now, for the time being, Austin, people love us. Everybody, their mama want to come to Austin, but what ends up happening is we get people for a year or two, and then they go to Dallas or Houston. That's true. The real story nobody talks about is we get them when they first get here, and then y'all get them back from us. I don't know how it happens, but it does.
Yeah, it's not cheap in Austin. Austin feels like a West Coast city in Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just got back from Silicon Valley, believe it or not. I had to go down to Monterey Bay to take care of some business. And, that's what Austin feels like. All Austin is missing is a beach. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like a really, really trendy city. It attracts a lot of young people. But what people find out really quick when they get to Austin is that it ain't cheap. And, so, and it's not really that big. I don't think a lot of people know everything's bigger in Texas, and Austin's our capital, but it's not the biggest city.
It's not at all. Austin's
it's not the biggest city at all.
You be out.
Hey, you in and you out. Straight up. So yeah.
Well, part of too, what I've been trying to recruit people, I'm like, Pflugerville is Chocolate City. Come to Chocolate City, right? And everybody's like, Erica, stop saying that. Well, finally, they posted.
Hey, Classy Climbers, have you ever thought about starting a family bank? If so, you would want to join us at familybankchallenge.black. That's familybankchallenge.black. We have all sorts of resources with regards to you learning about what a family bank is, how to structure it, how to create 100-year family wealth plans, and so much more. So familybankchallenge.black to learn more information.
Finally, they posted the numbers. We were at 20%.
Oh,
and Round Rock was at 15% Black people. Pflugerville was at 20% Black people. Because every day I was interacting with people from Ohio, from other states, and I was like, "What made you come here?" And they go, "Well, I just heard all this good stuff about Pflugerville, so I'm here." And I bought a house for cheap. Huh?
The same way they did with you and I talked about that with DeSoto here in Dallas. About 5-6 years ago, it was one of the most growing Black cities in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Funny you say Pflugerville. The only people I know from Pflugerville are Black. You know what I'm saying? Everyone I've ever met from Pflugerville is Black. Everyone. So yeah, that's cool. It's right outside Austin.
I paid on a credit card, and I was on the phone with them, right? And the lady's like, "You're the fourth person today called from this place." I don't know how to say it, but I heard this already earlier today. I'm like, well, they probably was Black. It was saying without saying. So
yeah, that's funny. Good money making Black people too.
Listen. I always say train your mind for what you want to see. And so one day I was like, I want to see, what did I call it? Tech black men, right? For all this week, and every tech black men I see, I'm gonna speak and just say hi, just as one of those things. I literally was just inundated, just seeing it. It's like one of those things when you don't see it, when you're not looking for it, you don't see it. I went to a grocery store in Round Rock down the street from Dale, and it was like 20 brothers in there. I'm like, oh, hello, hi, hello, sir. You down here in the Round Rock? I see. Hello.
Yeah, that's
So
hilarious.
when people
That's
start complaining
hilarious.
about
Train
all
your
the
mind for what you want to see. I wrote that down. That's a good one.
But let's not dwell on Austin. We're beautiful, but the big baby, the big D, as I tell Asia when she get mad, she be like, Detroit's the D. I'm like, but Dallas is the big D.
Dallas is the big D.
I mean, literally on the news.
Shout out to Detroit. Listen, I'm very, very fascinated with Detroit. When the crash first hit, and I remember a good friend of mine worked in, and I won't take too much time in the story, but she worked in acquisitions for a company that acquired properties. And she called me one day. She's like, Tim, you got $400,000? I'm like, why do you ask me that? She said, man, we're selling a whole block. We got like blocks on blocks on blocks that we're just getting rid of. There's a block, of houses for like, $200 over here. She's like, you can literally buy, 10, 15 houses right now because it's all under one umbrella. And now you look at what's going on in Detroit, and it's just so much has changed.
Yeah.
Now I'm so fascinated by that city. And what I tell people, I always compare Detroit from an economic standpoint to Dallas, like what's going on in certain areas of Dallas where there hasn't been any development in years, a lot of plant workers, a lot of people that work, just basic blue collar jobs. And now these areas are starting to turn over. And, Oak Cliff, South Dallas, East Dallas, Pleasant Grove, where I'm from, West Dallas, so, and it reminds me a lot of what we saw in 2005 with Detroit. And now you have people, I got a lot of friends from Detroit. They say, Tim, I kicked myself in the butt that I missed out on all this opportunity because there were so many houses near downtown that just went for pennies on the dollar. And now that area is totally being redeveloped. So yeah. But shout out to the other D-town, but we the big
well, listen, the man on the news said the big D. Okay. So I just said, all right, that's official. Part of what always fascinates me about Detroit when people are like, I don't understand why people are buying there. And I go, according to the IRS and the CDC, like 88% of us live 1 hour from our mother. So just do the math. Like you could say, man, Detroit's falling apart, but there's gonna be a huge contingent of people like my mama's there, my daddy's there, my brother and sister. I'm gonna be there. Just like when I worked in apartments here in Austin, people would be like, yeah, I moved from California. End of the year, things didn't go right, or they didn't keep their job. Yeah, I'm going back to California. I'd be like, why? My mama there, my daddy there. Yeah, it matters.
I was just having this conversation about relocating. The reason that I've been in Dallas so long is because this is where my family is. I've always wanted to live somewhere else just to kind of experience it. And now I have a sibling who's doing exactly that. Once she hit 45, I think she turned 42 or 43, she left Dallas altogether, went to the East Coast and loves it.
Yeah, she's gone. Listen, she go to DC, she ain't coming back. If she go to DC, she gone. You can't get them back from DC.
She's not in Florida. We can't get her back. I mean, she's always.
Nah, you ain't gonna get her back from Florida.
She ain't coming back. But let's talk about Dallas. What you want to know?
So here's the thing about Dallas, and thank y'all in here. Definitely hit a one and hit the like button.
Hi, my name is Annette Worth, and I've been able to teach over 200 students, beginners, how to get started investing in the stock market. My first course, Stock Market Course for Beginners, easily teaches you how to read a stock chart so you know when to purchase a stock on sale. My second course is How to Build a Winning Watch List. This is how you know which company you should be investing in, what makes up a good company. You'll be able to read a stock chart, know when to purchase a stock, and know which companies to pick. Investing in the stock market isn't hard, we just wasn't taught about it in school. The hardest part about building wealth is just getting started. Are you ready to start today? Click the link in the bio or go to annetsworth.com to enroll today.
So here's the thing about Dallas. I signed up for a bunch of wholesalers. Now, sometimes they sign you up and sometimes you get them, right? And I see properties flying off the shelf in Dallas. I mean, Arlington, you name it. And then I see neighboring neighborhoods, Frisco, Prosper, all these places are just flying off the shelf. I saw a guy say in the video, they had 20 offers on a house. And this other guy's renting, and he says he get 20 applications on a regular. Yeah. What's the view on Dallas? Are people going to be able to move there? Is it going to be affordable? Like, give us your good breakdown on Dallas right now.
That's such a good question. So Dallas is changing a lot. I want to log in so I can see the chat in case people have questions and stuff like that. There's so much change here. For you mentioned it earlier. You said I was a city councilman. I'm not a city councilman. I'm on the zoning commission, which is a pretty unique place to be on. I'll be honest with you. But the beauty of that position is that, when I was asked if I wanted to do this position, I was told that I would be a part of a group of people who would essentially be shaping the face of Dallas for years to come, right?
So you're a planning commission.
So the city planning commission is the committee, and I'm a zoning commissioner. So I'm an actual zoning commissioner. They refer to me as Commissioner Jackson, right?
Commissioner
Jackson. We had our session yesterday for 10. They tend to run on, for about 10 to 11 hours, depending on the day, because you have to go down to City Hall and people come and present cases and things of that nature. We do it on Zoom now. But I'm saying that to say this. I just did a tour of a property here in South Dallas, and this guy has such a great vision. He's trying to bring an entertainment venue to South Dallas, and he's starting it with a restaurant. And he owns this property. He's really trying to bring so much more to the city. But what you find is that in my zone particularly, they, in a lot of Black neighborhoods, highways were run through our neighborhoods to kind of split up and to reduce the value. And now you're seeing, particularly in my area, where they're pulling up a highway because they created a new bridge. And now that highway that ran straight through a neighborhood is now a street that leads you straight to downtown. And if you stand on the street, you see this beautiful view of downtown Dallas, right? So with a beautiful view of downtown Dallas, what is that going to create? That's going to create opportunity, and people are going to want to develop. And there's nothing wrong with that development, but you have to also know the history of that development, right? You have to know why this area is the way it is and how it got that way. But let's talk about Dallas as a whole in general. There's a shortage of inventory all throughout the city. We went to show some houses the other day, and there was a line of people waiting. Every house that I put on the market in the last 60 days is only staying on the market for a day or two. And it doesn't matter if that house is a $200,000 house or a $400,000 house. It's not staying on the market much longer, right? And then you have areas like South Dallas, East Dallas, West Dallas that are literally centrally located near downtown, that you're starting to see the values change because people are wanting to come in and redevelop, right? But what does that redevelopment look like? Well, honestly, you said at the beginning of our call when we were chatting, you said, there's deals that you've missed out on because there's just people with a lot more money than you, right?
Yeah.
What I try to explain to people so often in these communities, or in our communities, I'm going to say these communities, in our communities, is that you own grandma's house. Like, if you really want to see change, keep that house, right? Because what's going to happen is that someone else is going to come and buy that house.
Cut that front yard.
They're going to tear it down, build something new. And listen, I'm not totally opposed to that in certain situations, but too often we'll say, well, there's not development in our areas and we're selling our stuff off. And sometimes we have to sell it off because we just can't afford to live there. But what happens is when new development comes and they start building around you, that's going to increase your tax value, which is going to, or your tax bill, which is going to put you in a bind to be able to purchase, right? Or to be able to afford it. And that's how a lot of people get flushed out. So Dallas is no different than any other city. That's happening here. It's happening at a rapid rate. Sat on hearings yesterday, and these are public hearings, so you guys can always go to cityhall.com or cityofdallas.com and watch this stuff. But I mean, people are
say that part again. Say that part again.
This is public, so I'm not giving y'all any inside information, right? You can always go watch these hearings online in your city or in my city. I think it's cityofdallas.org, or if you just Google City of Dallas, they have their own TV network where you can watch stuff. But the point I'm making is this. The opportunity is there. You just have to be in front of it. I met with a guy today who told me he owned nearly 90 homes in Dallas, in South Dallas, and I said, how did you do that? He's, well, I just bought them. I started off with one house, and that one house turned into another house, and another house turned into a fourplex. And before I knew it, I was just buying houses left and right. And he said, now I'm in a position to compete with some of the bigger corporations because I own so much real estate.
Hey everybody, this is DJ the Money Coach coming to you to celebrate our victories with the Classy Climb. Over 9,000 views. Over 400 people attended the 2 webinars. over 200 people downloaded the Family Finance 101 curriculum. That's 3 hours, 18 modules, teach you how to get your credit score 30 to 60 points higher in 60 days. Teach you how to become consumer debt free, pay yourself first, open a corporation, and leverage the tax laws through businesses, real estate. And to prove how that works, I've done it. And we'll do it for you with the digital family finance booklet. We'll give you a bonus complimentary consultation worth $1,200 with me and 2 other our team members. We'll also give you this bonus webinar, but you got to hit the link now for the Black Friday special, and we will help you win in 2021. Hit the link. Come join us.